Come to the class. So I don't have any topics to cover as of today. Just will give you some advice on how to proceed your education further, how to look for jobs, and we'll try to answer as many questions as possible. So let's start with the very first topic. As to, again, I'll not be sharing any screen today. There's nothing to share. So if necessary, and if you think it is the right thing to do, just take down notes of important points that I'll be discussing. So the first importance topic will be what to do next. Now that the classes are over, what should we do next? I mean, let's say, I would say that you have touched upon almost all the topics that are required in order to get a job as a security analyst. The depth of each of the topics might not be enough as what is covered in the class. You might need to go a step deeper into looking into things like SIM solution. Maybe you should practice a little bit more of Splunk. You need to look into the analysis part very closely. And just rather than understanding things theoretically, we would recommend you to go ahead and do the hands-on. For example, let's say if a particular analysis says that you have to restart the computer and go to the safe mode and remove the files, you have to go to the safe mode and try to do it. You don't have to delete any file, but at least you need to know how safe mode looks like and what you can do in safe mode. Right. So, and more importantly, the most important thing for all of you would be to develop your technical fluency. To develop your technical fluency, and for that, the only option is to explain. You have to take some opportunity, like make small groups, maybe not more than 4 people in one group, and everybody should speak about any topic in cybersecurity, maybe for 15-20 minutes every single day. This is one of the let's say, I would say, shortcuts of getting a job in cybersecurity, because more than what you have in your mind, what you speak during the interview matters. So try to learn how to speak cybersecurity. It is just by let me give you an example of this. Let's take 2 students. Okay, both of them are average in studies, and one person revises the topic that has been covered for the day. One student will practice the topic given for the day, and like this he does it for the entire semester. The other student, he will from day one, he will try to solve the answer paper of the previous years. Whatever he doesn't know, he will go back and look it up in the books, learn them, and again attempt the next day a new paper. Like this, he solves around 30 to 40 different question papers Now, who do you think will have a better chance of scoring marks? The person who practiced writing exams every single day, or the person who has revised all the topics, or not all the topics, that particular topic on that particular day? Who do you think will have the better chance of scoring higher marks? Let's say the answer will be that the student with the person who has solved the question papers will have the higher chance of scoring more. Why? Because he has practiced live. Ultimately, what you do, you write exam to score marks. And he is been doing that throughout the semester, every single day. He knows how to tackle the exam. He knows how to, let's say, control the time within maybe 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever the exam time is. He knows how to tackle the big answers first or the small answers first, because he has been doing that for almost 3 to 4 months now. The other guy, he has a lot of knowledge, but he doesn't have a strategy for the exam. So what I recommend is basically you start talking about cybersecurity every single day, because in the interview, it's ultimately your talk that will get you the job, not what's in your mind. So don't only focus on acquiring knowledge. Learn how to express that knowledge with fluency. This is the single most suggestion that I can give you in order to get the job earlier, quicker. You practice it for 15-20 days. Afterwards, any interview you attend, you definitely have a very good impact in the interviews. So don't take this advice lightly. Okay. You can also look for additional courses. You have gained, again, as I told you, almost all the topics are already covered. You might have to go a little bit deeper. Now that you know the different topics as to what to study, for example, you have to know a little bit of firewall, a little bit of sandbox, a little bit of antivirus, a little bit of or little more of SIM analysis, cyber attacks, right? So you can spend more time on the topics that have already been covered. Research other articles or watch other videos on YouTube around the same topics. Don't try to keep on learning newer and newer things. Okay, cybersecurity is very vast. If you keep on learning everything possible, like ethical hacking, GRC, like say deep dive firewall, deep dive antivirus, deep dive EDR, it will never be finished. So stick to the topics that we have covered and try to go one step deeper. There are a lot of great videos about almost all the topics in YouTube. Look for them and understand the topic and try to put that into your CV, and also try to learn how to express that concept or the tool in interview. As of today, the market is still not that great. We are seeing a decent improvement, but this is not enough. So I would also like to highlight that in India, This is a good hiring period. August, September, October, November. So these are really good hiring period for companies in India. So be active on Naukri or any job portal that you prefer. But if you're in India, Naukri is the go-to job portal. Log in every single day. Modify something, even if it means to undo the changes. Just modify something, save the profile so that the last updated will reflect as today. Make sure that your phone number and email address are verified in the portal. So if you take care of your Naukri or the job portal profile and the LinkedIn profile well, you should be getting calls. Ideally, in the earlier days, let's say 2022, I would have said that you should at least get 3 to 4 calls per week. You should get at least 3 to 4 calls per week, which will indicate that your profile is good. But now I would probably say if you get at least 1 call per week, your profile is good. Why? Because the opportunities are less, where you are getting less number of calls. For people outside India, you have to continuously apply for jobs. You have to be active on LinkedIn, plus make it a habit of applying to at least 15 cybersecurity jobs every day. Any profile, whether they are relevant to you, as long as they are cybersecurity, just apply for it. Maybe there is an opportunity in ethical hacking, apply for it. There's an opportunity in for firewall management, apply for it. There's an opportunity for compliance, apply for it. At least 10, if not 15, at least 10 jobs you need to apply, irrespective of whatever location it is. Maybe let's say in US you are in let's say East Coast and the job opening is in West Coast, still apply for it. Give the interview. Later on, you can decide whether if you get selected, you can decide whether to take it up or reject it. But the agenda for us should be to give as many interview as possible. Interviews make us better and better. It will show us what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, and what areas should we focus on. After CrowdStrike, market is hiring more people in cybersecurity or not? Why should the market hire more people in cybersecurity after the CrowdStrike incident? There was no cybersecurity incident at all. CrowdStrike incident was not a cybersecurity. The CrowdStrike outage was not a cybersecurity incident. It is nowhere related to cybersecurity. It was a faulty product design. Right. So that has not changed how companies implement tools and how companies function, or it has not affected the hiring strategy. Our own change of stream, make sure that whatever career gap is fine. Let's say up to 1 year, 1.5 year is fine. Bigger than that, there will definitely be concerns expressed, especially if the career gap is current. Presently, there is a gap, then there will be a lot of questions asked. And I don't want to sugarcoat it, but if you have a current gap, your profile might not be considered for most of the opportunities. Right now, the supply is more, demand is less. So the recruiters have an option to choose comfortable candidates. What is the meaning of comfortable candidates? Somebody who is earning low and can join the company for lower package. For example, the company's budget might be, let's say for 4 years of experience, the company budget might be around 6 to 8 lakhs. And you might have an experience of 4 years, but your package is already 8 lakhs. And if there is somebody else who has around 3.5 to 4 years of experience and has a salary of around 3 lakhs or 4 lakhs, then he will definitely be given the preference because he will fit within their budget. Plus, they'll also look for a lot of other factors like is he already located in the place where the job opportunity is. For example, let's say you are in Delhi and the job opportunity is in Bangalore, they might not take your profile seriously. Why? Because a lot of people at the last moment will end up saying, no, I cannot relocate. So HRs, because of more supply today, they are more selective. Because of more options, they are selective in terms of what candidates will go for the interview. And career change, don't expect any calls if you are not mentioning cybersecurity in your CV. For example, let's say that you have 5 years of test experience, test engineer, or maybe 5 years of support experience. If you purely mention that and put some points around cybersecurity, you are not going to get the opportunities. You have to tell that you have worked in cybersecurity. Don't worry about the designations and all. In the relieving letter, in the payslip, whatever designation is there, that is fine. Only in CV, you mention it as security analyst. There are a lot of companies that will have a different designation, but they'll be working as a different at a different role in the company. Srinivasan, I was telling this point for people like you. If you have 8 years of service desk experience and you have added only service desk experience in your CV, that means under the job role, company title, if you have put only service desk, then they are not going to consider. Why? Because they need somebody who has worked on cybersecurity. For international opportunities, I would strongly recommend to be active on LinkedIn. And especially for Gulf countries, there is Naukri Gulf. Naukri Gulf. In fact, LinkedIn is far better place to apply for jobs abroad and also in Middle East. You have to follow the right people so that when they post opportunities, you will get to know about it. Follow people in Middle East who are into cybersecurity, who are into hiring, like HR, talent acquisition. Follow them so that whenever they post something, you will be able to apply for it. Also, you can look for jobs in LinkedIn itself directly and apply there. It's a long shot, but if the time is correct, the long shots will pay off. Srinivasan, these questions were already answered on the CV preparation class. I'm not sure if you have attended that or not. Priyanka, CV preparation is already done. Number of jobs are going to reduce so Ravindra, what I would recommend is red teaming is not for everybody. Red team or ethical hacking is not for everybody. So even if you learn ethical hacking or red teaming, there's no guarantee that you will get a job. Of course, if you are technically more inclined, I would definitely recommend to go for ethical hacking. But it is not meant for everyone. Sure, Manoj, I think when you onboard to Accenture, they will be more than happy to put you into a cybersecurity domain because a lot of companies are anyways looking for cybersecurity talent, and especially Accenture is big in terms of hiring for cybersecurity. So yes, you have definitely a strong case to pursue Accenture to giving you a cybersecurity domain. Sabina, the recommendations will not be anything different. Prepare a good CV. Okay, that is the first point. Improve your technical fluency. And learn the topics that have been covered in the class a little bit deeper. Three things: a good CV and a regular updates on the CV. Go one step deeper with all the topics that are covered in the class. And develop your technical fluency by talking about different topics of cybersecurity every single day. These are the only three things that you should be doing repeatedly over and over again. Ajay Kumar, since you're already working in network security, you should be the one who should be telling us what to put in the CV for network security. Otherwise, just find it in the job descriptions. Look for job descriptions for network security and take the points that you understand well and that are relevant to what you have performed. I don't have a list of roles and responsibilities for network security alone, but you can easily find it in job descriptions. So just convert the statements. For example, they'll be saying we need somebody who is good in, let's say, configuring VPNs. So you just have to tell that good hands-on experience in configuring the VPNs using so and so protocols. Geeta, you have to put the responsibility of SOC manager. You have to put the responsibility of a SOC manager in your CV. Reflect as if you are working as SOC manager already. So that will help you to attract more and more job opportunities of SOC manager. Plus, mention topics about team handling. I mean, mention points around team handling, uh, if necessary, evaluation of new tool, reporting, let's say presenting in the meetings. So all these things you have done. Maybe you have already done it as a part of your job already now. So highlight the same things and also observe what your current SOC manager is doing and add his or her responsibility also as a part of your CV. Okay, so that will help you to get more and more SOC manager roles. And because you are 14 plus years, the experience will definitely match for a SOC manager role. Any hands-on website for SOC? Yes, Pradeep, try Hack Me. Try Hack Me is a really good website. There are different levels of training for SOC. Just try to Google Try Hack Me SOC training. SOC training, something like that. And you will see an array of list of things that you can probably do from very basic all the way to advanced malware analysis as well. Kirti, if you're asking about surviving, I think you can survive. Let's say a lot of us who are already struggling in life are serious about our career change. So once you get a job, you just have to adapt few techniques after you get a job in order to be, let's say, more uh, let's say, collaborative and more impactful in your job. Basically, you should work harder outside your office. That means you go to office, you learn, you observe, you take down notes every day, because a lot of these things that they are discussing on a daily basis, for the first 3 to 4 days, you will not understand anything. So you take notes and then you come back home and you do a lot of research around those topics. What was my manager talking about? What was the network security team talking about? What is this new tool that they were talking about? What does it do? So all these things, if you keep on doing the homework after coming home from the office, right? So it'll within a week or two, the job will start getting easier. Right. So I have not seen a single student who could not survive the domain change. For some people, it will be very easy because the companies are very lenient in terms of allowing the employee to settle in and then start working. For some companies, it might be a little difficult because the company might be expecting you to start contributing maybe within a week or two. Okay, irrespective of that, so nobody has seriously complained about not getting adjusted to the environment. So don't overthink about it. Okay, focus on getting the job. After getting the job, I'm pretty sure you'll survive. Yes, Giri Kamble, your approach is right. With 5 years of experience, show a little bit of experience in cybersecurity, the present experience, and previous you can put as it is. Whatever your network NOC experience is, you can definitely put that. Even like say working in a network, working as a network engineer in NOC is not very far from working in SOC. So even that will be strongly considered. but highlight the latest couple of years in cybersecurity and SOC. That should definitely do the trick to get more opportunities. ISO 27001 is good enough, Ravindra. So from a internet perspective, just focus on ISO 27001. Later on, as per the company need, you can learn other frameworks, but in general, ISO 27001 is very comprehensive. Why am I changing the company immediately? So the answer can be anything, guys. They don't care much about your answers, but typically answer it something like the role that I was expecting was different and the role they gave me was different. Right. So whenever I change the job quickly, I typically used to not blame the company or anything. I used to just blame it on the role. They hired me as a L2 engineer, but here it is mostly monitoring and analysis, the basic triage work. I feel that I'm just doing the same thing that I was doing in the past, and there's nothing new to learn here. So if I get stuck in the same job for 1 year, my knowledge will get rusted. So I want to be in a more challenging environment where I'll get to learn newer things to advance my career. So something of that sort should be good enough. Yes, you don't have to worry about projects because in unlike development here, we don't work on projects. But you can definitely say, even as a fresher, I'm pretty sure. Like say yesterday, I have shared you quite a few CVs. All of those CVs, or most of those CVs, were for freshers. A fresher, even if you are a fresher, your entire CV should talk about cybersecurity only. Even though you are a fresher, your entire CV should talk about cybersecurity only. You should mention your college projects only if they're relevant to either networking or cybersecurity. If they are not related to cybersecurity or networking, don't even mention that. You're basically unnecessarily adding more data, which is not important to your job hunting process. I have shared several CV templates, which is suitable for L1 analyst. Go with it. And just make sure that you know about each and every single point that you have mentioned in the CV. Guide to build labs for practice. Uh, Mr. Harman, today I think everything is available on cloud. So like for example, Splunk is available on cloud. There are a lot of good websites like Try Hack Me, and then there is which is this Let's Defend. There is Let's Defend. I think they let you solve 4 exercises for free. You can try those. You don't have to create a lab of your own because no matter how much of a lab you create, it will be very limited. So it's better to work on these platforms. So that will let you, they will give you the virtual machine necessary and everything, and you can practice. Kirti, I think I have answered your question about surviving the job. As I said, Ashwini, the supply is more today. So I would not say impossible. I will definitely not say impossible, but the gap should be compensated with a strong CV and try to get one or two certifications in cybersecurity to increase your chances of getting interview calls. Obviously, I will never say it is impossible to get a job, irrespective of whether you have gap, whether you are a fresher. Everybody will get an opportunity. It's just that how do you tackle the job market? Preparing technically is one part of the job or one part of the efforts. Preparing for the job itself, like CV, Naukri, practice, preparing the questions for how to introduce yourself. So this is another part of preparation. So if the second part of your preparation is strong enough, you'll definitely get a job, irrespective of whatever conditions you are in. Rahman, that depends on company to company. As I told, some companies expect you to start being productive from week 2 or so. Some companies will just let you be there for months together, not assigning any work. So it all depends on company. So you will be lucky if you get a company that will give you some lenience for at least 2 or 3 weeks before you start the actual work. But an informal training will definitely be given, irrespective of whatever tenuity that we have. For example, even if I join a SOC team today, informal training has to be given to me also, because yes, I might know Splunk, but I don't know their log sources. I don't know their infrastructure well. So an informal training will definitely be given in all the companies. Pragya, that depends on how many years of experience you have. If you have passed out recently, like 2022, 2023, then you can definitely go as a fresher. But if you have already previously 3-4 years of experience and now you have 1 year of gap, going as a fresher does not make sense. Extra topics for SOC manager, the recommendation would be on strategy, right? So you look for SOC governance, not the general GRC. Look for topics around SOC governance. So that's where, let's say, you talk about pulling reports for SOC and measuring the efficiency of SOC, right? So these are the things that you should be knowing as a SOC manager. There is a good resource as well. I don't recall. What was the name of the website? I don't recall. There's a really good website that will help you in preparing, not for SOC manager, but let's say the SOC governance aspects. I'll try to find that website and ping you. Jamal, whenever you want to learn something new, I don't mind if you are doing it alone or you're doing it in group. Of course, if you're in group, at least somebody will be able to help you out. But when I'm asking you to form the group, please make sure that you practice talking more. Right. So, and as per the other question, technical difficulties that you are facing in terms of log ingestion and all, I'm pretty sure, like I said, there are a lot of videos that will help you to resolve that issue. That's a good point, Ravi. In fact, this is the reason why we, in the very beginning of the course, we recommend that you read 3 job descriptions every single day. So if you have read several job descriptions, by now you know exactly what the companies are looking for. Ashwini, I have already answered your question. Kirti, I have already answered your question. Yes, as I told you, there are no projects. Ansh, let me check on that. The certificate, regarding the certificate, let me check that. Yes, Akash Singh, it's definitely going to help. It depends on what kind of masters you are doing. But if you're doing masters in cybersecurity or at least anything with respect to infrastructure, that is definitely going to help. Prashant, I would not recommend that. Do not just be stuck with one company. Yes, yeah, definitely give it a try. Try to look for an IJP, right? So, and if they're willing to consider you, it's well and good. At least they know that your background is not completely SOC, so it will be a really good platform to learn. But I would not recommend that you just stick to that. So start looking for opportunities outside your company also. And if you find one, just leave. Fayaz, to answer your question, in the notes that I have given yesterday, or not yesterday, the MDE class, EDR class, there is a link at the last which will talk about log analytics. So if you practice log analytics, it is as good as practicing Microsoft Sentinel. So the query structure and everything is the same. So log analytics is free to access, and you can practice on the data that is already pre-populated. It's like your Splunk bots. Pratik, a gap is a gap. I mean, if the companies will not care what we are doing, right? So you can only justify if they give you a chance. But a lot of HRs will not even give you a chance to justify it. So that's the problem. Email gateway, Sandeep, email gateway, no, it's very difficult to practice email gateway. I don't know of any open source tool that will help us in practicing email gateway. Robin, if you're working for last 8 years or 5 years, at least mention 3 to 4 years of experience in cybersecurity. At least 3 to 4 years in cybersecurity is ideal. You don't have to mention the entire 5 or 8 years of experience in cybersecurity. At least 3 years is good enough. Anupama, don't overthink about your company, your infrastructure. Okay, outside outside your company, nobody will know how big or how small your company is. Just go with the flow. Just build stories. Tell that, like, say, this is our infrastructure. We have so many log sources. We have 6 people in the team, etc., etc., etc. Build your own stories. They cannot come and verify that details. Completed forensic science. Just put the details. Like, say, you are a fresher, okay, with more focus on forensics. So we have given you several CV templates for fresher. Use those templates, add more points on forensics because you have done that as a part of your masters. So, and the rest of the CV is as it is. Ultimately, even if you have learned forensics, you have to be for practical purposes. Showing SOC will get you more job opportunities than forensics. Ravindra, I'll be focusing more on understanding the people, especially at a senior level. When you join a company at a senior level, let's say L3 and above, my focus will be in terms of understanding the people because that is the most difficult part to deal with. Technologies will be there. Learning technology is very easy, guys. Why? Because you will be given 8 hours per day to work on those technologies. You'll be given 8 hours, and nowadays everybody will get a laptop. So that means you have almost 24 hours that you can spend with the technology. So learning Splunk or Sentinel or IBM QRadar, whatever your company is using, it's not going to be a big deal. It will hardly take you 3 days. It will hardly take you 3 days to get accustomed to the new tool. Because here in the training, you might be spending 1 hour or 2 hours practicing Splunk. But after you get the job, you have access for Splunk throughout the day. So you will be able to learn things faster. Right? So considering this, that technology can easily be learned. My primary focus will be in terms of understanding people and the politics because that will drive the major part of my career as to how comfortable my job will be there. The second part will be I'll start making a note of what are the areas that could be improved. I will not start suggesting the changes. I will not start suggesting the changes immediately, but I'll make a notes of what are the things that could be improved. Because as and when time progresses, I will actually come to the realization as to why certain things are not implemented in this company. Right. So only then, once I am confident that yes, these guys have the capabilities, have the opportunity, and then we can implement these things without much or any budget requirement. That's when I start proposing the changes. That will be after 3 months. Apart from that, the second focus, apart from understanding people, the second focus will be in understanding the infrastructure. Every company is different. Every SOC team is different. So how the company functions, what are the business units? Where are the business? What are the different geographical locations of the company? right? So these are the things that I'll be taking care of initially once I join a new SOC team. I would not recommend that learning data analytics, not necessary, because most of the tools today are capable to generate very quality reports. You don't have to do or play around with data in order to get the reports. Abhishek Singh, we try to see if you can your company can give you the experience letter as associate engineer or assistant engineer rather than civil. Just ask them to remove the civil part of it and give the experience letter as assistant engineer. Sushma, there's no tackling. If you mention that in your CV that you have worked as HR coordinator for last 2 years and then you have a gap, you are anyways not going to get the calls because your background is HR. So you have to mention something about SOC. 6 months gap is not a big deal. A lot of companies are okay with 6 months of gap, but if you showcase as HR in the previous experience, that is not going to attract calls. Vidhi Jain, you can. There is a definitely a good department and a good amount of jobs available for vulnerability management only. You really don't have to go for PT as such. But if your technical appetite can let you learn penetration testing, then go for it. But otherwise, I will still recommend you to stick to vulnerability management and little bit of SOC, and together you will still be able to find a good job in cybersecurity. Again, 13 years of work experience, Swati. If you are highlighting in cybersecurity, definitely your CV will start popping up and you will get more number of calls. And you just have to have a proper justification as to the gap. But if you show 13 years of experience in something else, then you might not get the call. OT security courses. Okay. Let me give you there's a course called Fundamentals of OT Security by a guy called Nebras. Again, it's not my course. Uh, I have taken it, I have seen it. It's good to start with. I have pinged you the link, the Udemy link for the course. Yes, Swati, you can definitely do that. 13 years of experience. You can show the last 7 years of experience in SOC and you can apply for SOC manager roles. But make sure that when you mention the responsibilities, they should be as good as a SOC manager level. Okay, if you mention only about analysis and all, then probably you might not get calls for SOC manager. So you have to mention things about team management, reporting, let's say handling stakeholders, evaluation of new technology, if possible, a little bit of budgeting, not mandatory, but again, yeah. So if mention these kind of points in order to attract calls for SOC manager. Anupama, basics of Linux is good if you are working in IT industry. Basics of Linux is essential. So please do learn Linux. You don't have to go for a full-fledged course. Study the basics. You'll come across Linux platform over and over again throughout your career. Not full-fledged, but let's say to at least basic troubleshooting level. For 6 months to 1 year of experience in SOC analyst, if you are not in cybersecurity domain right now, don't worry about the salary part. Just get the job. Your first job is not for salary. The first job is to gain experience. You can leave the job within, let's say, 8 months to 1 year, but join the company without worrying about salary. That depends, Manoj. I cannot comment on that. It depends on project to project. So it depends on what project you will be put on to. So Rag, let's say how to modify the CV. It's already been completed. CV class has been done. Tool wise, you don't have to learn anything else, Swati. Tools is fine. Learn about the SOC governance. I'm not sure about the SOC manager badge. I need to consider the market. If the market condition is good, I don't mind starting a SOC manager batch. Okay. So I'll stop here. I know there are still questions unanswered. So try to take them one-on-one later on. And yeah, so you guys be committed to learning. Okay, so don't overthink about the things that are not under your control. Gap, different domain. Let's say what will happen even once I get the job. Certain things that are not supposed you are not supposed to worry about. Don't worry about them. Your only thing that you are supposed to do is improve your knowledge and be ready to get more interview calls in terms of Naukri profile, LinkedIn profile, and let's say practicing improving your technical fluency. These are the few things that are in your control you need to focus on. A lot of other things that are not in your control, don't worry about them. Only situations will tell you how to tackle it. Ravindra, just leave a message in the group. I'll reach out to you. Definitely, cloud security classes will definitely add value. I think we will be planning to start the cloud security classes from Monday onwards, 5th. Okay, we will announce it soon. Today itself, we'll announce it in the group, and you guys can enroll for the same. Right. So thank you very much for listening, guys. You guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and all the best for your preparation and for any job interviews that you will get. And once you get a job in cybersecurity, just post it in the group. That will motivate other people also. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.